All right, today is March 7th, 5th, 6th? 6th. It's the rundown. KMarko in for Big Cat. Brought to you by Lisa Mattresses, $75 off. Click on the link. Doesn't matter. You know the drill, hopefully, by now. Does not matter if you buy the mattress now, tomorrow, 2 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever. You always can get your mattress for the $75 off. Lisa Mattresses. Let's start rough and rowdy. That was big weekend for us. About 12,000 people paid for it on pay-per-view, which smashed our numbers.
I heard like all 50 states or some shit like that. Like people were buying it all over the place.
Just a wild success, wild event. People love the rough and rowdy. We'll get Tex on here in a little bit.
We thought like 5 would be a success, right? That's what we were hoping for.
I said 2. My guess is 2,000 would buy it. And then it started picking up. And to be honest, the fights themselves are so good, I almost forgot that I'm there. I watched Garcia versus Thurman on Saturday night.
It's not as entertaining,
so
right?
Boring.
Yeah.
If a boxer knows what they're doing, it's generally a boring fight.
These guys have no standing in the corner taking punches like this. That was the best thing I've seen in a long time.
The clip we were watching on Barstool Radio, the guy in the white beater. Whose arms look so heavy.
It looked like he was holding bricks.
Slow. He would throw the slowest, widest, most looping punches I've ever seen, and they'd miss from me to you, KMarko. He'd miss like that, and like clockwork, he'd lose his balance and just walk into a vicious right hook. And he did it every time. To the point, the clip that I watched today on the rundown, which some reader put, is me talking in real time. Like, I love this guy. He takes these huge punches, misses, gets hit, and he does it right on cue. Unbelievable. This guy just haymakers, he misses, and then he stumbles across the ring. Do it. Unload. Unload a haymaker and miss by 30 feet. There it is. And then he walks into a haymaker every time. Every time this guy, somebody tell this guy. I may watch that all night tonight. And we were there. It's hard to describe. So Frankie was on the apron with the camera.
Yeah, he said he was covered in sweat and blood.
Yeah, and he could hear me.
Right in his kitchen.
Right in his kitchen, and he has the headphones on, so he could hear my commentary. So he was literally these guys are putting their lives on the line, and he's hysterically laughing on the apron, holding the camera, and I'm laughing at ringside. I said it, I'm like, I don't want to be laughing because these guys are so serious. There's blood everywhere. But between me, Pete, and Frankie, we're just laughing at these hillbillies from a foot away as they're dying, and we can't stop laughing.
Did you plan the whole time on doing 3 hours of play-by-play?
Well, I don't know what I planned on. I knew we needed a pay-per-view.
I did not expect that, the whole thing. I don't know what I thought I expected, but you just sitting there doing play-by-play for 3 hours was unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't think I planned
it was some of the
it,
best things you've done ever.
But that was the best way to pass the time.
Definitely.
We had 3 hours and built it up, and then the text.
And the ring girls, her legs, tree trunks, her face, I wouldn't recommend doing this, but God bless her.
So Barstool talked about putting this on demand for the next month, where people could go watch it and download it. I like the rough and rowdy. Some of the stuff that was said, I'm like, if we ever want to go back there, I don't know that we want people. One of the ring girls, I said she was a 1.1,
which was generous. That was generous. That chick was a 0.
But I don't know how to do it in real time. It wasn't like I scouted her. I was sitting there watching the fights. She gets in between the ropes.
Completely justified.
Ring girl evaluations. Oh my. Little shaky shake for the boys. I thought they were mad because I was about to give that ring girl a 1.1. They're like, you have to shut up. Nope. I gotta be honest, the balls on this chick to be I'm gonna be a ring girl tonight.
No self-awareness, 0 self-awareness.
It is, heart of gold.
But was that the one you said had a lot of spunk, or was that a different one?
No, that was Tree Trunks.
That was a 5.4.
Tree Trunks.
Tree Trunks did.
Tree Trunks had spunk. The girl who was the 1.1.
She had the glasses and the gun hanging out.
In no world should she.
Even
at the
West Virginia,
have her clothes
even
off.
West Virginia rough and rowdy needs to have a standard where they're no.
And
thanks,
it's
but no
we're
thanks.
rating them all, so it's what do you do? So, long story short, I was let's maybe not put this online. This is a live event. There's thought we may let people watch it again tomorrow.
Why don't we
in
just
real
jack
time.
it up like $100?
I tell you, it was an event, and then obviously our man Tex, who I was getting legitimately nervous for.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah.
It was nice. It didn't
It was the
seem
nicest you've
exciting.
ever been. To
The
another person.
knockout, people are like, all right, and say this is always what I was worried about with Tex. During the course of the night, there are fighters who would be hurt, and the ref would go, you want to continue? All of them, when they were hurt, were like, no, I'm good. Like, at some point, you know you've lost.
Not Tex.
I knew Tex would never do that, and Tex didn't do. People are like, oh, Tex did not get hit until he got hit.
Yeah.
But he got hit with maybe the cleanest shot of the night.
Yeah.
We have the gif of it. And God bless Tex, first of all, his punches, even if they connected clean, were gonna do no damage. They were like super slow-mo, and he was gonna sit there with Chris in it to win it Bennett, as long as it took for Chris Bennett to hit him square. Like, that was the hill Tex was dying on that night.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was gonna trade punches till somebody fell, and it was gonna be him every time. He got knocked out cold. He got up. He tried to continue. And
He was mad when the ref called it.
That's when I was nervous.
Yeah.
It was like, please fucking
I
stop
think the
this
whole
fight.
world was saying stay down just because they didn't want anything bad to happen.
If he got hit again when he was already concussed, because he was concussed again. Like, I had to have a medic check him out after the fight. He threw up. We were sitting, you know how tough Tex is. He actually wanted to go to the hospital for a second. He's like, let me get the medic. So I was sitting with him in the car. Erica Nardini, like, what a night. Best night ever. And I'm like, well, Tex is concussed right now. I'm like throwing up, and I'm pretty nervous about him.
There was some legit concern with the churning guys when they were here. Like, we were all laughing about it like it was funny, and they were like actually nervous that Tex was going to die.
They have all the waivers, and it was
I
just,
still don't believe in those waivers.
he's
like
a tough guy. Where is it? Where is Tex?
Nobody was concerned about his well-being. It was just whether we.
I was concerned about Tex's well-being. I legitimately was. And of course we have Lewis, sales guy Lewis, Dude Wipes. Shout out Dude Wipes. I went over like 3 seconds before the fight. I'm like, Tex, you ready to go? He's like, where's my Dude Wipes? I got my Dude Wipes. I got to wipe my face in the middle of the round.
That's a good-
I'm like,
that's a
dude,
good
you're
sell.
about to go into a real fight in like 3 seconds.
How many people
Fuck the Dude
around here
Wipes.
are tweeting about free stuff and not thinking about the business? This guy's about to go to war, and he's like, we got to make that
Not
money.
to mention he had gloves on, so how are you going to like Dude Wipe yourself in the middle of the fucking thing? Now, the good news, and I don't know what you're doing, you at one point, which I strongly disagree with, you said you're going to, I said, because it took a lot of balls to what you did, obviously. I said for every 1,000 downloads we get, or purchases, we'll give you $500. So you wrapped up close to $6 grand.
And what's he going to do with it?
I don't know. At one point, he said he was going to divide this amongst
Dude,
viceroys,
put
which
that
I
in your
strongly recommend against.
Put it in your pocket. You earn that fucking money.
And by the way, the
People sitting
winner-
at home
the
tweeting
win-
don't
the-
deserve that
I'm
$6,000.
gonna give away some of it.
Some of it. Put most of it in your pocket. Take
And
a
that was
beating for
pretty
that money.
shitty negotiation tactics on your part. I mean, I was at the airport. Like, I was pretty much going to the fight.
I don't negotiate. I thought you earned it. I wasn't trying to get you in the ring. I'm like, you're putting your balls on the line for us. You deserve something in return. So that wasn't
that money,
negotiation. And you earned it. I mean, you fucking totally earned it. Do you have any, looking back, I assume it was still when you could see his speech after when they interviewed him.
Yeah.
Very stand up. You don't see many boxers. Like, he was better than I was. He's good. Tex isn't good.
He's a better fighter. No fans are butts about it. Yeah, I'll get him next time.
I mean,
Dude, even Bennett
Dude.
was cool to you.
Well, Bennett, listen,
know.
two things. He's a showman and was talking shit all the way through. The night of Bennett, I couldn't get him to say a word. He had gone into like
Fighter mode, like
the day before when we had that clip from the airport.
I'm sitting now. West Virginia now, baby. What's good? What's good, bro? Huh? It's West Virginia, dog. What's up, baby? What's up? What's up? What's up, bro? Huh?
Now he knew they were showing up at the airport, but that was real. Like
Yeah.
I thought a fight was going to break out at the airport, so I thought he'd be way more fight night. He was kind of like very quiet. You were the only one doing the promotion of it, really, and he was a normal dude. Like he played along, so he
Yeah.
was good. I don't think we hated anybody in that group, to be honest.
nah. I mean, it was just a fight.
Yeah.
So got
well-
better
well,
than me.
see,
I'll get
here-
him next time, though. Believe that.
This is the thing. People here were tweeting at Chris Bennett, running their mouth for Tex. You know what I mean? Like
Also Tex
that
was.
scared. Yes.
Also Tex
Yeah, but
was.
Tex, you can say whatever you want to him. I didn't want to say anything.
Page Juice was going hard at him.
Yeah, young Page was going in on him, and it's like, Tex is like, oh, I don't mind the guy. And we were like, we hope this fucking white trash hillbilly dies. It's like, it's just a fight.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Have you seen, you saw the knockout. How you feeling? I mean, you were concussed.
Got a cold.
Clearly.
Got a cold.
I mean, I feel fine. I'm pretty pissed about the fight. I could have won that fight. I think.
With like a year of
Yeah,
training.
laugh, motherfuckers. All right, give me a year,
Yeah, a year
couple months. Give me some actual fucking training.
I actually,
You know?
we talked about it after. It's like, did you enjoy it? There's something to outside of getting knocked out, but there's an element of, it's 5,000 people there. It's a very rare moment fighting, but you didn't seem like you loved it, any of it. You were like, I'm kind of over it.
I mean, you just move on,
No, but I meant you like boxing.
If I have to, yeah.
Right. Those are the type of
Yeah, these are
answers.
Tex
But
answers.
I think regardless, I did think that when he was concussed in the car, I was like, oh shit. I didn't think about the Bills Mafia. I'm like, that's two in rapid succession. So
like very quickly.
Maybe time to take you out of the ring. And we are. You're
You're
your
retired,
gloves
Tex.
are retired.
Tex, you're
Oh,
retired.
bullshit. No, I'm coming back there.
Yeah.
I'm going to whip that man's ass.
Maybe in a year, but we need like a doctor check and all that shit.
Let me ask you this. I feel like there was a lot of people before you that you could have beat.
No, he got a tough draw.
Yeah,
no doubt
what
about
the
it.
fuck was that about?
Well, what? All right.
I remember you saying,
Those two
don't give
girls,
me anyone who's
probably.
going to hurt anybody. And
I talked to the promoter after he drew this kid. I'm like, listen, I don't want to send Tex in with like a pro. Like, he's not a pro. And he kind of talked me off. He's like, he wins some, he loses some, he's not that good. And Tex is bigger. And we had already started the fight promotion versus this guy because
Right,
he's
so
the one
do
who
it.
talks shit. I also, a little information got maybe lost in translation because I actually asked Chris Bennett, I'm like, you lost last time bad, so I don't know what you're so tough about. He's like, that was kickboxing.
little bit of a game
little
changer.
bit of
It's
a different
different.
thing.
A little bit.
Overall, Tex laid the balls on. I mean, we had what did you think about me? You were mad about me being in your corner in the beginning, but then you brought me back to your corner. I thought
And then you didn't even get there. You just decided to shout, stay down, and untie your shoe.
No, I was in your
Oh,
corner.
man, the shoe thing was
I
so
was-
perfect, though.
I was in your corner.
shoot, Tex.
I was in your corner, and then Frankie and Pete, they're like, we can't hear. Come back over to the microphone stand. So they told me to do that.
Yeah.
I was giving you advice out of love. I wanted you to untie your shoelace and I was afraid you were out of breath.
Nah, it's pussy shit.
Well,
I mean, that you really became a WWF manager for a second.
that was a
Like,
brilliant tactician move.
Untie your shoe.
Untie your shoe, kick your shoe off.
Yeah.
All right, Tex. Well, he gained a lot of fans. Made good
some
money.
money, yeah.
For how long was the fight? A minute 20? You know how they always do those things like Floyd Mayweather made like $84,000 a second.
Yeah.
You were probably making like $70 a second. Pretty good.
Hey, what do we got?
Oh, and there it is.
Give it up.
Straight.
Give it up to him. Careful.
Straight cash.
Dude, please put this in
There
your
it
pocket.
is.
We love the
Look at that.
Viceroys, but you should put that in your pocket. Straight cash. I like that move.
I mean-
Almost a standing. No one's ever going to standing out for getting knocked out in like a minute 30.
I forgot my wallet.
Yeah, you got money. There you go.
Just straight cash.
I don't know where I'm gonna put it.
Back pocket.
Any pocket.
Forgot my wallet. Tex.
All right.
Tex forever.
Stick it in your pocket.
Hashtag Tex forever.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. It's a good night's work. All right, moving on. And we'll let you know if we're going to re-air this thing. And if we do re-air it, it will be tomorrow night. We're figuring out whether we have the logistic capabilities. You have to watch it live again. If you already bought it, you can re-watch it. And if you missed it, because it was pretty funny shit. Like, I literally
Oh, it was one of the best things
could
we've ever
watch
done.
that big man throw punches, miss by 10 feet, and then get socked over and over and over again all
Dude,
night.
it's almost impossible to put out like 3 hours that I'm entertained front to back with. It was one of the best things Barstool's ever done.
So that would be 7 p.m., but you'd have to watch. So if you like miss the first 45 minutes, you don't get that back. It's a 7 p.m. air time. It would be a live event. Moving on, Arian Foster versus the Wolf. So Arian Foster basically said he wanted to go camping, but then he's like scared, but he's not scared of wolves because he thinks he can beat or kill a wolf in a man-to-man fight. Tweeted about 100 things. KFC, you broke it down. What do you got on
Yeah,
Foster
I mean,
versus
this
the
has
Wolf?
been basically my career the past 5 years.
How much research did you do on wolves this morning?
I read National Geographic articles. I was like reading up on wolves. A lot of Wikipedia. I got the sizes down and everything. This is like a classic KFC radio situation because, like, I think he's an idiot, but some of the shit he was saying on Twitter, I was like, I can kind of see where you're coming from, which is exactly what used to happen with me, John, and Dan. I think at the end of the day, like a natural predator is going to kill a human.
Foster was self-aware, by the way.
Yeah,
He was throwing in jokes like
and
he was playing.
and
Right?
it was actually very entertaining. The
Yeah.
whole string of tweets. I didn't think he was that kind of guy. He was busting people's balls and coming back at them. But if you want to ask the actual question, I think I'm taking the wolf.
Yeah, you kind of think that, but I've always been on this side of like, I don't understand how a dog can get you, like when it's running at you. I always feel like I could do the side swipe move when it's coming straight at you.
Yeah, but then it
How
comes
does
like
get-
right. It's
and then
relentless.
You just do it again.
Oh, well, you
Like
can't do
if
that.
the
How long
dog's
can you
jumping
do
you,
that?
so it doesn't have
How
the
does the
thumbs,
fight
like Arian
end?
Foster.
If that's just an
you get
endless
to-
cycle
exactly,
of...
Exactly, but you got to find a way out. But the dog coming at you initially, I never get how it gets you down. Like I could do this move all day long.
Well, here's what I think happens. I think it
They
gets
don't
you.
have the thumbs. That's
oh,
the
no
big point
thumbs.
of it.
No thumbs, and it doesn't know biology.
Yeah.
You don't need thumbs when you have a fucking jaw that has 1,500 pounds of pressure.
Can
So as soon as that wolf gets your arm, it's broken.
Yeah.
So now you have one arm and you're bleeding everywhere. I don't think you're gonna be able to do your little dodging thing as easy when you have a
Well,
shot.
Dave, you know how athletic I am. I could just keep doing that.
Yeah. And most of my information is coming from your blog, so I don't know what that means.
I'm telling you, 40% accurate.
If the wolf isn't inherently like aggressive and timid, if it doesn't know it's in a fight and Foster knows it's in a fight, I think that's a huge fucking
So
advantage.
like you kind of sidle up
Go
to it like
up
you're
like-
polite, just fucking mash it.
and then just like
Yeah, I still think as soon as you flip the switch, they're quick enough to flip their own switch and like they bite your neck. Like the other thing that Arian Foster doesn't think that wolves know biology or whatever he wants to call it, autonomy, whatever you want to say. Like
That-
wolves know that shit.
that's exactly like the clip we did from the Comedy Central, the David Portnoy surprise, when that whatever that animal is biting the other guy's dick.
Yeah, right.
I mean
they
that
know to
wasn't
do
an
that
accident
shit.
that
Yeah,
he had the dick.
like they know that better than humans to go for the throat and shit. So
Let's make sure we put it in the Dave Portnoy surprise.
yeah,
for
the
people
world
back
needs
home.
that one again.
Yeah.
This is a fight. This is a fight.
Is he biting this dick?
Look
Yeah,
at this
he's biting
fight.
his dick. That's a dick bite.
The Portnoy surprise is a lion eating a horse's dick.
That's just an African castration.
That I mean
That's a big
that,
hit.
but that proves the point. That animal, I forget exactly what it was, knew the
bite the
anatomy.
dick.
Like this guy's dick is his weak
I will
spot.
also say,
I'm gonna
across my
exploit it.
research, I found 2 different people who were attacked by wolves who said that they just went for the balls and it worked. Like the wolf like jumped back. So if all you have to do is hit a
That's
wolf
like
in the dick.
that's like
You don't think
Yeah,
you can
like-
keep a wolf away from your neck for a while?
No.
that's eye gouging a shark. Isn't that like the oldest thing? If a shark
Yeah.
comes at you, eye gouge him.
Yeah.
right.
But I know that won't work because I've seen their eyes roll up. You miss the eye gouge, and then you.
I also think it's
worst way
kind
to
of
die.
hard to eye gouge a fucking shark when it's attacking you.
Yeah,
I don't think
totally.
you're exactly like precise with your eye gouge.
Worst way to die: getting eaten by a shark because you're getting eaten and drowned all at once. It's a terrible
Not
way
good.
to go.
It's definitely not good.
Although a story that hasn't been blogged, speaking of weird deaths, somebody died like 17 pounds of porn fell on them.
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Like
it was
porn
something. It was
magazines.
like 6 tons of porn.
Yeah, they died under an avalanche
Underneath
of
it.
porn.
Yeah.
Like porn
It's
mags.
incredible.
Where were they?
Take a wild guess. Fucking Asia.
I think
Weird
it was
Asian
Japan.
news.
Specifically Japan. It's like,
Yeah.
can you guys get any more stereotypical?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It probably isn't true. I ran out of time. I was going to blog. I blogged other stuff, but yeah, look that up. Somebody, who would be good? Nate. Blogged that weird porn. Somebody died under like you. Jerry blogged it. Yeah, I was gonna. All right, perfect. Never mind. Go back. Business as usual.
Totally fake? Okay.
Oh, it's fake. Told you. That's
But
what
as we
Twitter-
always say, when it comes to Japan, you never know. It
we're
could have absolutely
always-
been real.
The churning guys are always looking for alternative business ideas.
Real or fake?
We have enough. No, not even that. Just weird Asian news too, and just have our crack staff. Like, yes,
'em up.
that headline, "Man dies under avalanche of porn," is going to
I
be a
would have
clip.
totally taken your word for it. There's been weirder real deaths that have come out
Right.
of Japan.
But are they real? that's the crux of it. It's the same source. Tim Tebow, Tebow's Arc is what I'm calling this. So he's quoted as saying he wants to adopt a child from every single continent in the universe and have them like, and not just talking, he's like, that's my dream. It wasn't like it came up in casual conversation. It's like, what are you looking to do with your life? My dream, what I sit around and dream about, is at the dinner table and having somebody from every continent in my family. That's what life's about. It's a little bit like Brangelina and like the picture of like Brad Pitt, who, by the way, ended up punching all these kids in the face because he had too many of these foreign, allegedly?
I would throw the allegedly button on that.
Allegedly.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, no, allegedly, like he got like child abuse, allegedly, which, by the way, I don't even think you can get charged for child abuse when your wife makes you adopt kids from everywhere.
No jury would convict.
Yeah, like no
jury would
shit,
do
he got a little rough with the kids. I don't know what, I mean, I think Tebow's serious. That's what.
No, he's
That's what
definitely
makes
serious.
him so great. Is
Yeah.
that he's not like looking for quotes or trying to be funny. Like this is actually what he sits around thinking about.
Or,
what he
or
wants
even
to
like
do with his life.
publicity. This is what he wants to do.
They just asked him, and he's like, "Oh, this is what I want to do. I want to adopt kids from every continent." And like,
Now,
that's his dream world.
Do you know how many continents there are?
No fucking clue. I'd say 12, 11.
Okay. Well, the way you, first of all,
Are there 7?
Tebow, there's 7. The way you were talking about Tebow's Arc, I thought you thought there was like hundreds
I
of
kind of thought
of countries.
like African countries and
Were
shit.
continents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continents.
Okay. Tebow's Arc that's one
Well,
of those
but then
times.
I don't
No, I'm saying it was hilarious. It's one of those moments where I was like, that was funny, and I wish I said it myself.
I don't
But
think
you definitely thought there was way more kids.
He'd
in
probably
there.
do
There's
countries too. In your
that's
defense.
exactly what I'm saying, because he's talking about black kids. Well, then it's a little different. So Tebow, I think, thinks what I think. He
just
wants a kid from every country.
It's also
Antarctica.
very weird to just sit around and be like, I want all these little children to live in my house.
It literally
it's just a weird thing to
is
say.
Oh, of
the
course it's
worst
weird.
thing
But you know, like
that could happen to a human.
Everybody's talking about it from like this Tebow religious point of view, and it's just like it's weird for a grown man to be like, I want all these little kiddies in my house. It's just strange.
It's the whole
But
thing's strange.
He's about to perform his miracles for the Mets, so anything goes. I got his back.
This guy, Reuben Foster, linebacker in Alabama, I think. They're saying he's a top 10 draft pick, right?
Yeah, he's like the number one
guy.
linebacker. Yeah.
Well, he got kicked out of a hospital because he got tired of how long he had to wait for his physical for the combine. I'm picturing it, and there's one of those stories where this sometimes we got lost in the rundown because I do so much research, I'd lose the charm of a story. But I'm picturing Reuben Foster just like in a line of NFL prospects, like all getting their physicals. And he's like,
That you can't play the "Do you know who I am" card when I'm sure there's a million fucking athletes coming through there.
Yeah, you're in line to get your physical with all these guys in the same boat, and you're like, this is taking too long. Do you know who I am? And then it got physical, and he got kicked out.
Did you see what the guy said though?
He said, do it,
Yeah.
right? He like,
Yeah, that's like the most emasculating thing that can happen to you is like the number one NFL draft pick, and this like little hospital intern is like saying, go ahead and do whatever you want. Like nobody knows.
Because
who
you
are.
know that guy too is like, please do
Yeah.
it. Like I'm gonna cash the fuck in. And
Yeah.
this guy beats the shit out of me. Going right to Goodell's office.
what do you do if you're an NFL team and you have a guy at the combine when everyone's getting physicals, getting physical with the guy giving them the physicals? I mean, what do you do? How can that man be trusted? Like, you have to be so off your rocker.
Yeah.
That's where you pick your fight. That guy like probably works for the NFL. Like, hey, we're hiring a doctor to give you a physical, and you just fought him.
It's a linebacker though. You kind of want him to be crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it almost a
guess
positive
one
if you
or two.
spin it that
Yeah.
way? Like he's
Maybe.
just
It's a fine line.
a fucking lunatic
Yeah.
and violent. That's what I want in my linebacker.
Maybe, I guess so. And the last story I got, which sneaky is one of my like, it was just one of those stories I looked at. I'm like, I can't believe this is real, and I don't know how I didn't know about it. Did you guys know about this? That Trump in his lucky red tie.
Not until today.
The guy wears this red tie everywhere. He wore it at the inauguration. He's worn it on like The Apprentice. I assumed he had multiple red ties.
One would think he's a billionaire.
He does not. He has one tie that is, he wears so much, he has scotch taped it together.
So I thought originally that he did the trick where you just put one strip to hold the thing.
Me too.
But he has like the whole bottom of it is taped
It's
up.
falling
in
apart.
a grid.
The
Yeah.
tie is dead, and he has refused to let it go.
He
and
has a tie company. He can get as many ties as he wants.
That is a lucky
But
tie.
it's not that tie. It's a different red tie.
He clearly, that is his lucky tie.
It is obviously lucky too. So like you can't argue with it.
Yo, when you're on a heater like Donald, you keep wearing that fucking tie. I don't care what it looks like.
It's the most relatable thing. I think he's actually like the most unlikely, I would say, but also like super relatable. Like, who doesn't have?
Yeah, you have like the sweatshirt that's like in tatters that you refuse to throw out. It's just the president's doing it.
President's
The
doing it.
billionaire president is
And
doing
by the
it.
way, like the
With the
wind's
tie
blowing,
company.
it's out there. It's a scotch tape on a tie is the most. That's something they don't have ties where we were in West Virginia, but if they did, that's what they would do there. And by the way, we were in the sticks. Like we've been a lot of even other West Virginia people like the Pro Football Talk guy, the coach they're like, you guys are up there. Like, you're in God's country.
Wasn't it
And-
like statistically the poorest place in the
yeah.
country?
In America.
We had no cell phone service, no internet, no nothing. Like, we were in a cabin. I said this on the show. Frankie, someone knocked on our cabin, which was in the middle of nowhere. It was literally in the woods next to a cemetery.
I was gonna say that
At
would
2
be
a.m.
scarier
someone
to me
knocked.
than getting in the ring. It's just that you guys were alone with no way of
Nothing.
contacting anybody.
And they hated us.
Yeah.
It was strange. We went to a restaurant, and this was in Charleston, not even the deep where we went, and we got discriminated against. I've never been discriminated against in my life. The 4 of us went in, and we're like, can we have a table for 4? They're like, we have no tables. The place was empty.
That's awesome.
Empty. And we're like, what do you, and they were on open,
man.
they were on open table. That's how we found it. And they're like, I can make a reservation for any time I want right now on open table. Like, all right, we have this one table in the back. They brought us, it wasn't even like a real table.
I love this story.
We ate, and literally nobody was in the restaurant. It was an empty restaurant that we just ate at, and we just looked around like we got discriminated against.
And you ate the food? You guys stayed there?
Yeah.
I would never eat at that place.
Was it
There
good?
were not a hell of a ton of options.
I can imagine that, but I'm certainly going to find a place that's not blatantly like trying to murder you.
Never been discriminated
Was it
against.
good?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a good restaurant. It was like a steakhouse. It was in the normal, it was when we landed. It made no sense.
So what? You were getting discriminated? Like what? You look like city slickers type?
Yeah, we're Yankees.
Yeah.
They don't like Yankees.
Yeah.
I also said this,
funny.
which I know is a fact. The majority of the people of West Virginia have no idea who they fought on the. They think they were on the Confederate side. They were not. They're Union. We looked it up.
Oh, I would.
Because
I got that wrong.
I heard you drop that at the beginning of the thing. I knew
Yeah.
you had looked it up right before.
yeah, I did. Well, we kept seeing the Confederate flags. Like, did they even
Fight for the
Yeah,
Confederacy?
and they didn't. It was like Union. But these people did not know it. That dude I interviewed in the beginning of the fight, he actually had spiked bracelets with the Confederate flag on it. I'm like, what? There's literally nothing there. There's nothing. So I'm like, what do you guys do for fun? Serious, like, what do you guys do at night? He's like, we do a lot of walking. That was his answer. That was his Friday night. We do a lot of walking. Oh my
God.
Oh, what an electric Friday night. But he was serious. Like, there's just nothing there. It's wild and wonderful. That was
It's just the rough and rowdy, right?
the rough and rowdy.
That's all they've got.
Yeah, and I don't know where the people came from because the towns are like 90 people, 70 people, and there are 5,000 people there.
That one guy was from Cucumber or something?
Cucumber,
Population
yeah.
72?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my
94.
God,
place.
Jesus Christ.
All right, anything else? No?
I don't think so.
Happy birthday. How old
Thank
are
Oh,
you?
yeah.
32.
Thanks.
No spring chicken either.
See, it doesn't matter though, because you're
I'm older.
gonna come over with 40. This is like when you said the other day on the radio. He goes, "See, Leo and Clooney are always gonna be older than me."
It's true.
It's like, well, you're always gonna be older than
Yeah,
me.
no, absolutely. But you make it sound like we're not that far. We're almost equidistant to me and Leo and you and me, so we're good. But I do have a big birthday coming up. That's going to be not a great one.
What are we doing for it?
Well, I'm going to have to be very selective on who I invite because I can't have brawls at my own birthday party. So we'll see what happens. There's a chance I'm going to be in Vegas for a pizza convention.
Oh wow,
So we'll see.
40-year-olds in Vegas. Watch out.
All right, that's the rundown. Oh, by the way, Glenny Balls.
Watch what happens live.
Watch what happens live tonight.
The bartender.
Glenny Balls will be the bartender.
It's
I wasn't gonna. If you want to.
I don't really care. I'm good. 11 o'clock.
electric.
Bravo.
Do better than that tonight.
Yeah.
I will. I will.